All right, just 8 or 9 days left in the transfer window. Let's get into it with Liverpool, as it looks like Sepp van den Berg and possibly Joe Gomez are on the way out. Liverpool might need a center back to come in. Is Piero Hincapié at the top of the list for replacements, Pete?
He's somebody that's been on the radar for Liverpool for quite a long time now. A very versatile player, Ecuador international, obviously helped Bayer Leverkusen win the German Bundesliga last year. So yeah, he's played at a very high level. Can also slot in at left back as well, which could be something that appeals to Liverpool. He could play centre back or left back as well. So top player. As I said, he's been on Liverpool's radar for a while now, as several other Premier League clubs have been linked with Hincapié in the past. So it doesn't surprise me that this link has re-emerged, especially if Liverpool are to lose a couple of centre backs before the close of the window, with interest in Sepp van den Berg from Brentford and Bayer Leverkusen, and ongoing speculation about Joe Gomez's long future as well. So I think if Liverpool were to lose both of those players, they'll definitely need to bring somebody in, because otherwise they're leaving themselves very short, considering all the competitions that they're going to be playing in this season.
Most certainly. And Paul, Goncalo Inacio from the Portuguese league is another one that is definitely rumored a lot. Jared Branthwaite recently kind of reaching those rumors. Do you like one of these profiles more than another to come in as kind of that replacement at left centre back?
Listen, I can't see Jared Branthwaite. I just can't see how that deal's done. Liverpool,
No
Everton,
chance.
that just doesn't happen. I don't know where that's come from, but there's absolutely zero chance, I think, of that deal happening. I think Everton would have to be in absolute dire straits of a situation financially to even consider selling their best young prospect for a number of years across Stanley Park to Liverpool. It won't be across Stanley Park for much longer. Yeah, but I just can't see that. Inacio, yeah, you can see that happening. 22-year-old centre-back at Sporting. Got 11 Portuguese caps. He's a decent player. He fits that mould. And listen, I said last time that we were on the pod, I'm looking at Liverpool's squad. I don't think they're desperately short. They played those two pre-season friendlies, with 2 11s, and I think they've got enough to go into the season. If they lose Joe Gomez, lose a couple of others, a CDM is somewhere where they might look, and a centre-back as well. But Inacio, he's definitely one that would fit the mould, looking at the way that Liverpool have played pre-season.
Most certainly, and we talked to Pete a little bit about how Hincapié could play at left back as well. Andy Robertson obviously aging. There's been links with Adrien Truffert as an option at left back. Could you actually see them going for a left back as well as a left centre back, or you think they'll go for more of a versatile profile?
Yeah, I think ideally the Liverpool recruitment team will be looking at maybe a more versatile defender who can play in several positions. That's why it's all the more surprising that Joe Gomez could possibly leave. He is that versatile player. He can play centre back, he can play right back. He played left back for quite a large proportion of last season when he filled in for Andy Robertson after he had that nasty shoulder injury. Robertson's definitely first choice, and then you've got Tsimikas, so I don't think it's a priority for Liverpool right now to be looking at a left back. I'm sure Truffert from Rennes is somebody who's maybe on their radar to be looking at long term, if they are looking at potential long term successor to Andy Robertson, who's 30 now, but still see Robertson as that first choice left back, and if he's fit, he will play in that team because he's been such a key figure for Liverpool over the years. So yeah, I don't think a left back's a top priority for Liverpool. Like Paul's mentioned there, a number 6 CDM and a centre back as cover, I think would be the two key positions that, if Liverpool could find the right player, they're probably the two areas of the team they would look to sign, as it looks like they're getting the goalkeeper and Mamardashvili deal looks to be getting ever closer. So that's more for the future, looking ahead to 2025 than that one. But yeah, I don't think Liverpool top priority right now is to bring in a left back.
Yeah, you mentioned Mamardashvili. Paul, we talked about it a little bit last week. Do you agree that going back on loan to Valencia is really the best move for him? Obviously, the regulations do not allow him to go on loan to a Premier League club next season.
I think it's the only way that the deal would work, in all honesty. I think Liverpool would get a good price that way, allowing him to go back into La Liga. He's played over 90 games in La Liga, and he's a top quality goalkeeper. Liverpool have been really clever here in the way that Chelsea were with Thibaut Courtois, allowing him to go back out on loan. They're certainly buying for the future. I mean, we spoke on last week's pod about Kelleher. Where does that leave him? But that's not what Liverpool are thinking about. Liverpool are thinking about the future. Alisson's not going to be around forever. For me, he's one of, if not the best goalkeeper in the world at the moment. When he's on his day and he's fully fit, I think he's probably got the attributes that everybody looks to. We talk about the modern day goalkeeper being able to play out from the back with his feet, the distribution, everything else. But he's an old-fashioned goalkeeper as well. He commands his box, he makes saves, and he makes blocks, what you'd expect a goalkeeper to do. So I think Alisson is the all-round goalkeeper. But like I say, he's not going to be around forever. For him and his own personal situation as well, he's going to want to see where he finishes his career. But I think this sign's a real blow for Kelleher, because this is Liverpool not looking at him thinking he's the natural successor to Alisson. He's been sat there for a while. He's played cup games. He's played a bit part last season when Alisson was injured. But this is a real blow for Kelleher. He'll be sat there now this season thinking, not so sure I want to stick around and be number 2, whether it be next season or the season after that Mohamed Salah comes into the squad. He's not coming to sit on the bench and watch Kelleher play. He's coming back into that Liverpool squad to play. So Kelleher's future it's interesting to see what mindset he would have this year, whether he would stick around and be number 2 this year to Alisson and play a little bit more than he did last year. We'll see. But I think from Liverpool's point of view, they've been very proactive, looking to the future, signing Europe's best young goalkeeper, allowing him to go back into La Liga, where it's not going to get him any harm, doing more and more of his development there. And it's a really, really shrewd signing. And I think the biggest part of that deal, Liverpool being able to get it over the line, is the fact that they're allowing him to go back on loan.
Most certainly. And Pete, one of the biggest sagas that's kind of been following Liverpool around now for this window is obviously their players with a year left on their contract. No one more important than Mo Salah. An article from The Athletic came out pretty interesting, saying that he wouldn't go to a rival but could potentially see himself eventually back in the city of London. Do you think there's any chance of a return to Chelsea in any future for Mo Salah?
Possible.
I don't see that for the life of me. I'd be very surprised, but nothing surprises with Chelsea and their recruitment policy. I don't think Mo Salah would end up going back to Chelsea. I think if he is to move, probably Saudi Arabia does look the most likely avenue for him. He could probably command any personal terms he wanted, because he would be the marquee signing for the Saudi Pro League. He would be the poster boy for that league as well in the future as well. And I just think Mo Salah right now, he's looking revitalised so far this pre-season and start of the season, working under Arne Slot. Still feel he's got a lot to prove and a lot to offer in Europe's top leagues as well. So I don't imagine right now Mo Salah's thinking anything about his long-term future. Again, I'm sure Liverpool will sit down and have talks with him to see if there is any potential where he could sign a new contract, because he's such a key man for the club. His numbers are unbelievable. I think he's got 300 now goal involvements for Liverpool, which is staggering. So I think for Liverpool, although he's maybe getting a bit older, he still offers so much to that team as well. So I think there will be talks held probably later this year to see if they can sit down and agree a new deal. But a move back to Chelsea would be pretty fanciful, I think.